Assalamu alaikum. This is the Advanced Comparative Constitutional Advocate Gulrez King. Tonight is the 27th of the September year 2024. The whole day I was in the Lahore High Court as to understanding the constitutional issues of the Pakistan. Primary issue which led me into consideration that due to the multi-dimensional production of the females growth rate in the Pakistan. This is a question by the Article 187 in the Pakistan that there are two elements. The negative brought up of the males in Pakistan is the basic factor which are leading the females into the miserable situation in the public sector. The secondary appears to be the females are being posted in the public sector while being manipulated into the divergent policies of their males at the faults. When the females become subjected with the section 376, why I have as a legislature of the Pakistan have invented the section 376AA, 376BB, because I found that in Pakistan it is being found that the females are being confined in the public sector after being manipulated by the sexual penetration offense or sexual intercourse offense in the Pakistan before the marriage or after the marriage, or in the multiple social discrepant behavior of the khullas or the constructive divorces, or having the guardian ad litem suits or the guardian de facto administrative entitlements. So the rest of the institutions which are dealing with the rights of the constructive obligations of the females in Pakistan appears to be declined in the Pakistan, and that's why there appears to be inclining position which could perform the functions of a proper administrative organ in the Pakistan, which could procure the rights of the females in Pakistan, because a lot of the females are becoming subjections in the public projection as to having the conjugal relationship failures, and such females after being tarnished their virginity, that's why, and they have a lot of the issues, the vaginal swabs. It is also a secondary fact which I observed during the medical examinations of the ex parte decrees or the concurrent standing decrees in the Pakistan, especially in the Lahore High Court, that a lot of the females after being dissolved into the multiple sexual relationships during the education are not willing to get married. And the secondary point, such females become feminist, and on the contrast such females want to have the social income and expenses solutions, and the discriminations to the male is a fourth point. On the very contrary, the observations of the females in Pakistan, such groups of the females in Pakistan become a permanent drug addict in the shape of having the night slips, pills and day pills, and such females want to live into the multiple inclinations of the lives. Such females could be found as to having vagabond approved criminal of the state. On the contrast, such males become vagabond approved criminal of the state. A lot of the females become drug addicts because not having the intellectual relationships. The marital relationship appears to be the secondary, the primary appears to be the intellectual relationship. In Pakistan, absence, because a lot of the males are daydreaming and they are infringing the rights of the females into the modesties, and they don't have the calculated type of the lifestyle in the public sector, and that's why they become poor. They always backdrop their females into the multi-social dimensional failures, and such females become erroneous errors in the public sector, becomes old, biased against the partiality of the state or impartiality of the state into the wisdom of the natural laws. And a lot of the females become a subject of de novo trial in the public sector according to the Code of Criminal Procedure and 1898. A lot of the females become subject of nuisance as well, and such females become object of sugar, high blood pressure in their upper age limit because of the public administrative speeches, because such speeches also requires potentials to be addressed to the public, but the public is not willing to understand the rights of their own self. On the contrast, it appears to be an operative issue which should be observed with the public, that whether the females are in the accurate length of wisdom, or the males are willing to tolerate the females into the right momentum of control, because they have produced a lot of the females and now they don't have the sufficient resources as to confine such females into the multi-dimensional jobs, administrative jobs, semi-government jobs, private jobs, and the multi-dimensional issues. Because I observe such issues in the public sector, such females become part and parcels of the those individuals which are proving themselves cost negative to the state institutions, and such state institutions are not cost effective to the individuals. This is a thought which provoke the female sentimental disorder tissues, and such females become subjected to the matrimonial disorders in the public sector. And while having the perpetual succession of the property, such females want to have the multi relationships after infringing the rights of the males. A lot of the groups regarding, I'm talking about vulnerable groups of the females as well as the males in Pakistan, especially in the major cities of the Pakistan. They don't have the word character. They are character assassinated. 75% of the males, they don't have the right words as to speak in the public sector. They don't understand the value of the Article 19 and the 19A, and they are just decreasing their momentum in the public sector, and the public is not into the observation as to the right of the right persons, and the public is not being tolerable regarding the execution of their own rights. In Pakistan, the public is very smart when it comes to their right, but they are very intolerant when it comes to provide the right to the other secondary individual in Pakistan. So these are the things which are being happening in the public sector, and the public is not willing as to confine their own sentimental tissues to understand the disorders of the public. The females do not have the sufficient sources, while the females population growth rate is inclined in the public sector, and such females do not have the sufficient well reconciled way of the proportionate value of the properties, as well as the official task obligation, as well as the area of even breathing in the public sector. Such females become social victimization, family victimization, as well as the central pointed victim of the vulnerable groups of the females in Pakistan. And there is no one who is willing to understand the rights of the females in the Pakistan. They are proving cost negative to the prohibitory clauses of the females' rights in the Pakistan as to transitionally destroy the character of the females. A lot of the females are also being observed as to using the defamatory notes against the administrative organs in the Pakistan, or the privatization organs in the Pakistan, because it is very hard to earn for the it is very hard to be a breadwinner of a civil society or a family, and there is consecutive issues which are inclining in the public sector, and a lot of the females are becoming sexually intercoursed during their education with the narcotics drug abused persons, and their parents feel proud. This is the sentimental disorder of the Punjabians, especially the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and the other KPK and the Balochistan and the other, all of the provincial autonomies of the Pakistan. They have produced such a raw material type of the individuals, females, males, irrespective of their gender, that they don't have the right momentum as to prove price-worthy to state institutions, and that's why we are suffering, because of the character assassinated individuals who always consider their own needs at the first place, despite of consideration of the other person's rights and observations. They are not into the position as to observe the secondary person's right. They are there for the observations of their own self, and that is the sole ground reason which leads the humanitarian dissolutions in the public sector, and the humans are becoming destitute. It means vagabond, avara, and neglected, and disproportionate to the rights of the human beings. Stay blessed, lead mass competitive constitutional advocate Gulrez King.